Our coverage of the 2022 Scouting Combine continues from Indianapolis. Joining us now, the 2021 NFL AP Coach of the Year, and more importantly, the Pro Football Talk Coach of the Year. He is Mike Vrabel.
Wow.
Mike, welcome.
Great gift.
Great to see you.
It was a great gift. I love the trophy. The trophy that the edible treats are always excitable.
How long did the ham last? That's the real question.
Probably a weekend. It lasted the weekend. I think there were a lot of, Carter had buddies back from school, so they loved it. My son brought some friends back from school, and I think they hammered it and then sent it back. And then we sent it back with them. Leftovers go back to school.
It's funny how it all happened. I've never talked about this before other than just telling Sims off the air, but I texted you that you were the PFT Coach of the Year, and your response was, what do I get for it? And I joked a canned ham, and you told me I liked honey baked. So
I was like, don't joke about canned ham. I said, there's nothing better than a honey baked ham.
You don't joke with that with an ex-outside linebacker who weighs 265, 270.
Next thing you know, there was a styrofoam cooler at the office.
Okay, all right. Yeah. He's big time. All right.
Well, that was fun. That was fun. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
All right. So I'm always you're an intense guy. You certainly are. You seem always all about your business. Can you even appreciate, Coach of the Year consideration, that type of stuff? I know that probably have a bad taste in your mouth from the way the year ended, but can you sit back and enjoy it?
That's not why we coach.
Yeah.
I think that is a reflection. I've tried to say this every single time. It's a reflection of our coaching staff and the players that we use this year for guys to be able to bring guys in on a Wednesday, for us to sign players on a Wednesday and then get them ready to make significant contributions on a Sunday at all levels of our team, whether that be offensively, defensively. I mean, I get one thing. You sign a guy to play R5 on a kickoff team and, gunner, that's pretty – you can do that. But when you're talking about defensive backs, the Buster Scrines, and I know there's so many more players that we've used and rotated through that helped us, but those are just some that stick out.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you guys set a record this year, and I think that's a credit to 91. You. I'm going to say it because I know you're not going to say it. Yeah, 91 all-time record, and still the number one seed in the AFC. All right, that game itself. Do you still how much is that in your mind still? I never saw a game like that before, where a defensive line whooped the crap out of a team to that capacity. And I know the quarterback made some mistakes that hurt you guys, but
yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of things. You've thrown a lot of picks in your career, so you understand what goes into it.
Of course,
that's we have to protect inside out. We look at all those things.
Yeah.
We went through and Ryan threw 19 interceptions. We had. There were faults to the quarterback. There were times where we bounced him off our shoulder pad, which is not the technique that I would ever teach a receiver to catch the ball. There's sometimes in protection, guys get beat inside out, and so we all have a role in ball security. Now, we understand the impact that the quarterback makes, and so we're going to try to be, better. We have to be better. And as far as the game goes, we're going to learn from it. It's frustrating to lose in this league, and 31 teams suffer misery. It's just the timing of it comes at different times for each team.
Hey, Mike, there's a huge difference between the two of us, and I like this because when I let an insult fly, it's like fireworks. I light the fuse and I get the hell away. You just keep going. You've thrown a lot of picks in your career. That was awesome. That was great. And just keep plowing through it. And he knows, but it's great. It's great to have him reminded from time to time.
That wasn't an insult. Oh, well, maybe it was.
It's a fact.
I did throw a lot. I didn't throw that many interceptions in my career because I wasn't damn good enough to be out there to throw them that much.
It's all about opportunity.
Exactly right. So I don't think he was trying to insult me. He just knew that what it went.
I want to go back to the fact that you had 91 different guys this year. I mean, at what point do you look around and say, "Who the f*** are these guys? Who are these guys?"
We had that moment. I don't think I had it. Well, maybe I had it at certain times on Wednesday in the squad meeting when I would introduce them, and there'd be a list of 6 or 7 new guys. But in the offseason, we've started this self-scout that everybody watches through, right? You watch your coverages versus the run, the pass, the fronts. You watch your outside zone. You watch your gap scheme, right?
Yeah.
there were times that I would be in there and I said, we're going to need a flip card because I don't know who number 30 was, or I don't know who 79 was. And we were all laughing about it. And it was whoever the first coach that could answer the question about who that player was.
So what are you doing this offseason to build on what you managed to do? Because it was really impressive to get the 1 seed. The AFC is very difficult right now. There is a huge difference between the level of competition at the high end of the teams in the AFC and the NFC. So what's the objective to get back to where you were last year, but then punch it through another couple levels beyond the divisional round?
Well, it starts, this offseason, it starts with obviously our roster. The conversations that John and I have with it, player acquisition, whether that's in free agency, our own players that contracts are coming up, and then the draft. But from a coaching standpoint, we believe in certain things. We're going to try to make sure that we have areas of focus for each individual player and focus on the development in the offseason, which I believe is critical for technique and fundamentals. It's hard to get those things coached in training camp when you're running plays. You're running plays. You're trying to you're trying to install plays, and you're trying to bank some valuable reps so that when you get down in the red zone and you do an off-season study in the red zone and you find that 60% of your touchdowns in the red zone are from reps that you had the most reps with in training camp. So that tells me that we need to run more banked reps and have similar concepts and carryovers down the red zone, because the players understand it better and they can maybe operate and function and play faster, and the quarterback knows what those reads are, what it's going to look like versus man, and the zone complements. Those are things that we're studying. As far as me, personally, I identify why, where guys got injured. When we talk about how many players that we used this year, is it something that I can do with the training camp schedule? What can I do differently? What can we do in our training and our recovery? We owe that to ourselves. We owe that to the team to make sure we are doing right by the player. There's nothing more important than the health and safety of our football team and their families.
Yeah, I hear that. You were a technician as far as like being an outside linebacker. And then I've seen you do drills with guys, but I want to piggyback off of what you said. Is that one of the biggest struggles of being a head coach in the NFL now, with kind of the limited OTAs and things, is getting into individual work?
We're never going to complain about the rules. We have to take our 9 weeks for the guys that show up, and we have to make them as most valuable as we can. I will just tell you this: if you watch, and this is easy for me to teach guys, this is great testimonial. I look at a guy like Jeffrey Simmons, who's big, who's fast, who's powerful, who plays hard. And you look at the difference in his technique from year 1 to 2 and 2 to 3, you're going to see a drastic difference in the technique in which he used and was successful with. And so now it's easy for me to coach to it. Like, okay, Jeff was a good player. Now he's a great player.
Great. I mean, arguably the best defensive tackle in football.
Yeah, and those are the things that, can make a player improve, regardless of their talent. It's the technique that we believe in. It's giving them answers and tools when they're out there, whether it's a receiver in press coverage, it's a DB in man coverage, or it's a pass rusher. They all have different skill sets. It's our job to identify them and try to enhance the stuff they do well.
Your defense was great this year. Shane Bowen, the defensive coordinator. I'm always intrigued by just your approach as far as, is it a collaborative effort as far as
everything we do is collaborative.
On the defense,
I mean, it is like, that's the one thing when you have alignment and you have loyalty and you have, people that don't have agendas, you can have conversations in a meeting room on Monday and Tuesday, and guys feel like they've been heard and that they're proficient and they're ready to put the game plan in. Now, we may not use everybody's idea, but if you listen and take everybody's idea, then at least they leave that room and they go into their own meeting room and they say, here's what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, and this is how it's going to help us win, as opposed to when you don't include people, it's hard for them to go and teach it and believe in it.
I hear that. So even offense, that's
you have to. Yeah, I mean, there's a run game meeting, that I'll obviously check in on, which I love, and Keith Carter is our run game coordinator, but Tony Dews has as much impact and conversations with Mike Sullivan and all those people over there, Luke Steckel, and now we've added Tim Kelly offensively, so it's collaborative, and we always say that I have the final say. Like, I'm going to say, like, we're going to do this or we're not.
Yeah.
But Todd Downing on offense has that. and Shane does on defense.
Right.
But there's a lot. I've asked them and requested that they are collaborative and they do take everybody's ideas.
Yeah.
I think you earned Coach of the Year, Mike, for the way that the team responded after Derrick Henry was lost for the balance of the regular season, following a great win over the Colts, completed the sweep of them. Everything's fine, and then we find out Henry's out for the duration, at least of the regular season, with that foot injury. How did you keep everyone focused and motivated and driven? And, it's almost like what Belichick always does. No excuses, no letdown. We just keep going. Is it as simple as that? Without your best player to keep winning and getting the 1 seed?
We explained to him as soon as the first meeting that when I first got started in this, it was going to be, hey, we're going to try to avoid distractions. Quickly on in that process, I realized that was impossible, and we're going to just be able to expect that there are going to be distractions, and It's going to be how we handle them and respond to them. You can't avoid distractions. So if I don't panic, the coaches don't panic, and the players don't panic, we believe in what we believe in, and we're going to try to find a game plan each and every week that we feel like gives us the best chance to win, identify how that game plan's working quickly into the game, and then make adjustments off of that.
Well, it's a great outcome, and it's fun to watch the Titans, and the fact that you're the coach shouts through in everything the team does, and we wish you the best moving forward. Congratulations on winning Coach of the Year, and we hope to talk to you again real soon, Mike.
I appreciate it, guys. Maybe we'll get another ham next year.
Yeah, go get it.
Celebratory ham.
Hope we get better than a ham next year. We're looking for better than a ham. Big silver trophy.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.